So here's one of the models that we brought in from 3D Studio Max for our group project. And as you can see, there's a shiny metallic material being applied to some of these objects. This is just a really basic material with color, metallic, and some roughness applied. What we're actually going to do now is bring one of these components into a tool called SubstancePainter. SubstancePainter allows us to literally paint in 3D. We can paint materials onto 3D objects. Previously, we had one standard material applied uniformly across the whole object. So what we can do now in SubstancePainter is actually apply different amounts of paint to each component. For example, I can paint this gold material here either on the 2D flattened out version of the surface or directly on the 3D surface. In addition to painting different levels of a material, you can find other applications such as painting on dust and grime onto your components to make them look more realistic. Of course, we can paint additional colors and materials onto the surface. Here we're putting a bit of black to add to the gold. That can create interesting effects and textures on this surface that you just couldn't get if you were applying a single material. You can use all sorts of weird and wonderful combinations of materials and colors and textures in order to achieve the look that you're after. So you can see how powerful this concept of painting onto a material can be. This tool can add a lot more flexibility to your modeling. You can just go export textures from within this tool and choose the template you require. You can choose V-Ray or, of course, in this case, Unreal Engine. Tools like SubstancePainter really come into their own when using complex materials like carbon fiber, where the direction of the weave is actually a very important component of making it look realistic. By working with and scaling the textures, you can see that they can be made to look appropriately scaled, and the materials really start to pop and make that material look authentic. For another example, if we use pressed aluminium and scale the material, you can see that it really starts to look something special when it's applied to this sort of surface. And of course, because this tool has a capability to add additional layers, we can start to overlay different materials and colors and textures and really build up the surface to look just like you imagine it looking. As you can see, by putting these different layers in, we can go well beyond just a plain single solid color material.